Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, Dr. Willy Tunga has reacted to the statement that was unleashed by JB Muturi. We all remember that JB Muturi decided that today, the 4th of April 2025, is the day that he was going to lift the lid and talk about certain secrets which Kenyans were not aware about. So for those of you who followed a previous analysis, when I shared a video on Muturi's remarks, you must have heard a part where Muturi talks about corruption. Now guess what? Kenya Human Rights Commission through Dr. Willy Tunga has shared a posting. And I want to take you through this posting, ladies and gentlemen, so that you can get to understand what the Kenya Human Rights Commission is talking about. But before I share the post, kindly like this video, subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for all of you who have been supporting us by subscribing and liking. So without wasting much of your time, ladies and gentlemen, let's delve into this tweet. This is what it says. A former cabinet secretary, Honorable JB Muturi, has exposed William Ruto's deep-seated corruption, linking him to the dubious Adani deals. Ruto must be held accountable for the corruption and misgovernance under his regime. Kenyans, this further proves Ruto's unfitness for public office. We have the sovereign power to get a fit person in the office. So, end of statement. That is what the Kenya Human Rights Commission has said, and this posting must have come through Dr. Willy Tunga. Now, if you go below this post, there's another one. Now, this is coming directly from Dr. Willy Tunga, Chief Justice Kenya, and it says, "These people lie. You have no dog in this ethnic strife. The collective elite is to blame for the status quo the country finds itself in." So, in very few words, ladies and gentlemen, these people lie. You know, I told you in the previous analysis that at this particular juncture, it's not easy to tell who is telling the truth from who is lying. Because when William Ruto surfaced during the Sagana interview, he told us certain things about Justin Muturi, and even going to an extent of saying JB Muturi is lazy. Now, JB Muturi is coming out and addressing William Ruto and saying William Ruto is the most corrupt president that Kenya has ever had.
When I watch William Ruto sometimes talking to members of cabinet and see him say, "I do not want to see corruption in my government," then I start wondering, who is this talking? And I'm sure we will have occasion to discuss a lot.
Is he corrupt?
Who?
William Ruto.
I think, I don't know.
But if you see him talking about corruption, you're like, who is this talking about corruption? Is it because he's corrupt?
You know, I have so many examples. That
not an example, but is he corrupt? Examples aside.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Very. Yes, irredeemably.
Okay.
Corrupt.
One example you can walk us through. I know you've told us that there's many. Just a.
I don't want to give you the obvious ones about the Adanis, because I have some background about it. He's the one who was clearly behind it, and I know this because when his advisor Adan Mohammed invited me to attend the COP28 in Dubai in 2023. He gave me a lot of information which ended up with the Adani deal about the airport specifically. Okay. Even during that same time, some Russian oligarchs who had offered to invest $1 billion here in Kenya. And again, it came from Adan Mohammed. In fact, I have even staff telling me that an NGO, I go and check, if there's no, I said the NGO council says we don't have any such company.
Such thing is registered.
Then on on the day we were coming from India, after that COP28, we flew to India for state visits, blah, blah. I am landing on my way back because Guru, this guy of Defki, I see RUTO around him. It's one of the Guptas. When Guru told me during breakfast on the day we were leaving Delhi, that that plane of the president is not good. I've chatted another one for him. As we are going direct, get an executive jet. I've gotten him. So I land in Dubai. RUTO is calling me. Those people, those Russians want you. They are there. They are in Dubai. They are waiting. You signed in. I said, I'm just at the airport and I'm on transit. I am not leaving the airport.
Right.
He said, no, but they are there. Your people, your staff have already worked on the document. I said, no, I will need to go and review it in office.
This document being the deal.
The deal. They were purporting to give a grant of $1 billion to grow allegedly 3 billion trees towards the 15 billion. William RUTO, whenever he comes up with a program, it's for money making. For him, it's for money making.
Now, Dr. William Tunga's posting is telling us that these people lie. So this is what I want us to explore, ladies and gentlemen. These people lie. We all remember the story of Adani and how controversial that matter was, and until that deal was cancelled. And it was cancelled because of an explosive revelation from the FBI in US, America. So when the FBI came up with a report that put a lot of pressure on Adani and even went to an extent of exposing Adani's deals, the government had to cancel the deal. See, this thing came as a shock after a lot of public uproar, after a lot of pressure from the opposition, from the civil society, from Kenyans, from all quarters. Still, the government could not cancel the over $2.5 billion deal with the Adani. So the US had some after the US indictment, the deal had to be cancelled. And this came after sharp criticism of a lack of transparency and value for money. So, in very few words, ladies and gentlemen, Adani deal was cancelled by William RUTO, who ordered the cancellation of the procurement process that had been expected to award control of the country's main airport to India's Adani Group. So RUTO cancelled the deal. We all remember that story. He cancelled the deal after US indictment, and which sought more clarification on whether Kenya was going to get value for money. There was no value for money in Adani deal. So what JB Muturi is telling us is a story that started 2023. The big question that many people still ask is, why did JB Muturi choose today, the 4th April 2025, to be the date that he is unveiling this truth? Why not 2023? I shared that concern in my previous analysis. I believe you must have gone through that part. But the big question that is coming from Kenya is, why now? And that's why I want to take you through a couple of reactions. People have reacted to William Tunga's explosive comment. And this, like for instance, there's someone by the name Korir Weldon MBA who says, so now getting fired suddenly makes someone a credible source of information. We all know that's just bitterness talking. And if any of it were true, why wait until now to speak? If you had integrity, you'd have spoken up when it mattered. Pathetic. So that is what the Twitter handle said. In very few words, what JB Muturi is told is that, so now you've resigned, you've been fired, and all of a sudden, whatever you say is more credible than the people who are still in office. So I think based on this Twitter handler, he's saying that if JB Muturi wanted people to believe him, his words, what he would have done, he would have simply resigned back then when that revelation came on board. Yeye angeresign alafu ambia Wakenya ukweli wa mambo, Wakenya wajue kwamba huu rais sio mzuri. resign, but haku resign. You see, if I may take you back, before I take you through some reactions, take you back to days of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And Uhuru would tell these people, especially JB Muturi, that they are dealing with the wrong person. And JB Muturi would be one of those people who would say that Ruto is nimsafi kama pamba. So they didn't want to listen to the advice from the former president, who was the sitting president back then, and they chose to advise Kenyans otherwise. And we can say that they're the reasons why Mount Kenya made a wrong decision and probably voting for someone whom they don't want right now. JB Muturi is one of the leaders who should be blamed. If at all anyone is to be blamed, he's one of those people who did not take into consideration the advice of the president. Na kwa sababu hiyo, the people ended up voting for William Ruto na sasa wanalia. So, let me take you through another reaction. Benedict Kilonzo. He says, what do you mean exposed? You argue like naive, dim-witted, unschooled villagers. These are just incoherent rantings of a bitter, disgraced old politician who has been elbowed out of the dining table. The man was fired and declared incompetent on national TVs. Justin Muturi is bitter. So, you see, this is a tweet that is seeking to actually agree with William Ruto on the move he made to fire Muturi. And also, this Twitter handler is simply telling Muturi that, look here, these are the kicks of a dying horse. You were kicked off from office. If you wanted to be credible, you would have exposed these details before you were fired. That would have been 2023. You see, there's one thing that I still want to agree with this Twitter handler, this ex-handler. Why? Because let's assume in 2024 there was no demonstration. There was nothing like Gen Zs. JB Muturi would have still been the Attorney General. Now, if that is the case, then hatungeweza kujua what really happened. Because most likely JB Muturi hangefutwa kazi. Because alifutwa kazi, akapewa kazi ndogo kidogo. Na I think the reason why he was a bit resistant, kwa sababu hiyo kazi ambayo alipewa sio ile kazi ambayo alitaka. Hakutaka hiyo. Someone with the name Robert says, why didn't he resign then give us this expose? Okay. Well, this person by the name Wizard of OZ has a different opinion. Wizard seems to be saying Ruto should be impeached, admitting live on TV that his gang of police officers abducted, tortured, and killed innocent Kenyans for demanding accountability is evil. He failed to safeguard the constitution. He should be impeached now. But the big question is, who is going to impeach him? That can be, impeachment is something that Kenyans want, but then who is going to do it? That is a very tough question, you know. That's why you need to do something at your constituency level. When your member of parliament comes there, I think ni mtu ambaye anafaa futwe kazi apoe mwingine, kwa sababu they cannot impeach the president. But they have mandate to impeach the president if the president is not delivering. Right now, the people are crying. The members of parliament are they are supposed to be the ones to react. But look here, how American from Fuko, they can't do anything. So in very few words, ladies and gentlemen, JB Muturi is asked why he never resigned and gave out this explosive statement when he was still in office as AG. Why wait till now? Is it because he's been elbowed out of the dining table? What is the reason, ladies and gentlemen? So perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until we catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.